Friday morning. It's the main event. I'm your exhausted and humble host, Stephen McCollum, and of course, 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae's off today. We just decided to come in. We got Kobe here. We got Ethan here. Of course, I'm here, obviously, as we come into this here today. Let me get my ears turned up here a little bit. And, folks, we're here just to have a little bit of fun here on this Friday. Excuse my computer here. Geesh, look how unprofessional I am. It's a casual show, even though I'm in my pink and gray shirt here, dressed up a little bit, right? Casual show here today. Don't know if we're going to go the whole 2 hours. Maybe cut it a little bit short. Just thought we'd come in and have some fun here. Of course, we do our full show Monday and Tuesday coming up this week. Dale will be here as well. And, of course, me Tuesday will be Bruce Cooper, just like this last Tuesday. Bruce Cooper in the second hour. And, of course, Uncle Lou in the first hour remote as well. Getting you ready for the New Year's holiday weekend coming up here. But we're here today. Till we call it quits, right? Go through everything we want to talk about. If you want to talk about anything, text us 623-252-6670. Hit us up, of course, at TME Sports Show as well on X out there. We just thought we'd come in and have some fun here today, going over the games over the weekend. Not a lot, right? Kind of a snoozer of a sports weekend, unless, you're just a Lions hater, right? You can jump on that bandwagon or a Kansas City hater. Oh, the love for Travis Kelce last night. That was brutal. He doesn't get that send-off if he's not dating Taylor Swift, folks. That's all I'm going to say on that. Well, for now. We'll talk about that coming up. But we'll be here Monday and Tuesday, regular shows as well. And then, of course, we'll be off for the New Year's holiday. And the rest of the week is me and the family are headed over, to the Sun Bowl on Wednesday. And then we're going to spend some extra days there in New Mexico, seeing the sights and things, I've seen a million times in my life. My kids haven't been over there in about 5-6 years, so they don't really remember it very much. They were fairly young at that time. So, we'll get over there, see, Carlsbad Caverns, White Sands, maybe go visit the aliens over there at Roswell and that fun stuff. And then, of course, Monday, Tuesday, off the rest of the week, back on Monday the 5th for normal shows as well. As we get back and started with the new year, McCollum on Business will be back on the 5th as well coming up. So, a little bit of a break there for all the shows here. The Real Matrix on a break right now. We might have a special year-end show coming your way here this week. The plan is to come in and have that put together for Wednesday. We'll keep you updated on that as well if that does get posted with a special guest possibly this week. Waiting on those details to come in if that's going to be done for the Real Matrix. So, look, I hope you guys all had a good holiday week. However you celebrate, what we call the Christmas holiday out there. Stressful, right? Wednesday, got all my Christmas shopping done mostly on Tuesday. Yeah, completely done. Except for, I had to go get something for the dog, of course, and bought a $20 toy for the dog. Yeah, and she's a lab. She's 6 years old, 6.5 years old. She turns 7 this upcoming year. Bundle of energy, like golden labs are out there. $20 toy. She had that thing destroyed in about 20 minutes. So, yeah. Usually we buy her a big rawhide bone, but we just had it. We gave her one, so she didn't chew on everything else. We just gave her one, and she hadn't, gnawed through that one at all lately. So I didn't want to get her a second bone, because then she'd have 2 running around, just what we need out there. But she took care of that. Her toy was taken care of about 20 minutes, folks. Yeah, that's what dogs do, right? And everything. But Wednesday I went out and ventured across the crowds and everything, and got some stocking stuffers and some miscellaneous stuff out there. Kind of a stress-free day, on Christmas Eve for me. Kids came over yesterday morning from their mom's house, opened up everything, went to my parents' house. Nice, relaxing day. Went and saw Fire and Ash, the new Avatar movie yesterday. Man, pack a lunch, 3 hours, 16 minutes long. But I just love these. I love these movies. The one that just visually. Okay, so the story is basically the same story as the last two. The stories don't change much, just different settings. But I thought it was just amazing. The visuals are amazing. Yeah, the story has gotten a little bit repetitive here with these. Obviously, well, hopefully they've closed one story arc here for the future ones that they have planned coming out. But well entertaining. If you like the other ones, you'll like this one. I feel. There's too much talking at times. Like, let's speed this up. We could cut some of this out. But it's a James Cameron movie, so holiday movies, you probably should check that out if you like just amazing visual stuff. Now, we saw it in regular Dolby. We did not see it in 3D. DVD was pretty much sold out for Christmas Day. Obviously, a lot of people there. So we didn't get to see it in 3D. We saw it in regular Dolby Digital, which the sound was amazing and everything. So I just want to pass that along to you. Definitely check that out. Some housekeeping stuff other than our days that will be here. Obviously, Monday and Tuesday as well. Today, we're just going to go as long as we want to. I guarantee you at least an hour. Do I guarantee you 2 hours? No, I don't. But last week, I didn't get to this on Tuesday with how packed that Tuesday show was. Remember last week, Braxton texted in 623-252-6670. And he was talking, he bet me that James Madison would cover the spread. They go on a 99, yard scoring run here to cover the spread there against Oregon. And, of course, wins another lunch off me. And Dale gives me a lot of crap on that. It just so happened because the lunches I owe Braxton go back to the radio days. So that's over 3 years ago, folks. And part of the reason why it goes back that far is at that time, I was going to Tucson like almost weekly for part of the year. Sugar Skull stuff and other things down there I was doing. Well, that all went away, right? We stopped doing that. I stopped doing all that stuff, moved up here to the Valley and working with the Rattlers and other teams up here. And so I just don't go to – I literally have been to Tucson like 3 times since I left the radio station. And all 3 of those were like just spontaneous day trips up to the top of Mount Lemmon or something to that effect. Not enough time. It didn't schedule it far enough in advance to meet up with anybody or do anything like that. So I owe Braxton a bunch of lunches, right? So we were joking around about, I'm going to invite Braxton to, I say Jackson because a stupid ad for Jackson Airplanes just popped up on my computer, folks. Why in that moment? Because I'm talking about Braxton, so Jackson Airplanes popped up on my deal. Well, if you want to fly private, hit up Jackson Airlines. Since they're throwing an ad up on my computer, I'll do an ad for them here as well. He texts in, and I was joking around saying, I'm going to invite Braxton up here to Steak 44 when Bruce and Dale are paying off their bet for Arizona and Arizona State football. I'm going to tag along to that deal as well. I know it's hard to make, Steve, you got to pay for yourself, whatever. I'm not going to make a retired guy pay for my dinner at Steak 44. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. So anyway, I'm gonna go. So I was joking, we'll invite Braxton to that, and I wasn't joking around. Braxton, you're more than welcome to come. You can be my guest there. But Braxton responded and said, Steak 44 is wild to even joke about. I don't know if he looked at a menu or what. He says, while it would be an honor to sit and listen to Dale and Coop tell stories, it's a lot of arguing, to be honest with you. But no, it's great people to be around and all that. It really is. He said, I'd hate to intrude, and I'm very uncomfortable accepting things I wouldn't pay for myself. And there ain't no way I'm affording anything at Steak 44. I don't know if he looked up the menu or if he just knows what the pricing is for it there as well. So, he goes, sugar snap peas for $15? Yeah, I want to know how big they are, and I want to know how many you get for $15, right? He goes, insane. Winning a bet against Steven feeds my soul a plenty. He says, and Steven, please don't drive down to Tucson special. No, I'm going to make Dale drive me down to Tucson. It'll work out sometime, or you may actually win a lunch back at some point. That's funny. I have no reason to go to Tucson. So, and look, and I'll say this to you, Braxton. I know because people go, man, you're going to drive to Tucson? Tucson's closer. Tucson's the same distance for me. Same time frame, I should say, maybe a little farther distance wise than me driving to Cardinal Stadium. And I'd much rather go down to Tucson to see you, Braxton, than go watch this product that the Cardinals put on the field these days. Without traffic, Cardinal Stadium's a little bit quicker, but it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to get down to Tucson. It takes me about an hour, 20 minutes or so to get to a stadium out there in the West Valley. If there's a lot of traffic, and usually there is, obviously, going to a game and stuff like that. So it's really not, and I hate to sound, about this, but it's really not that big of a deal for me to get down to Tucson. It's just not. It's quick and easy. So don't feel bad about it. We're going to get that set up here in the new year because that'd be fun. I'll find a reason to go down there. If you want me to say I need a reason to go down there, Braxton, to pay out my lunch, I'll make something up. Come down there and see you. I'll tell you I have something going on, even though I don't. Just saying. So a little housekeeping there. I wanted to make sure we talked about that since we didn't have time on Tuesday as well. And I don't know. So what did you watch? Okay, Christmas Eve, no NFL. No NFL, no NBA, no NHL on Christmas Eve. Nothing. And I get it, family time or whatever you want to say. But holy heck, was there not a lot on. I was rewatching season 2 of Reacher while I was wrapping the presents and stuff to that effect. There's not a lot going on Christmas Eve. But the Holiday Bowl happened, right? Then on Christmas Day, you got NBA, if you're into that. Some of those games were all right, mainly duds, in my opinion. But then so were the NFL games for the most part. Yeah, the Chiefs game was technically close last night, but I also found myself not caring. Do I care if the Broncos have the number 1 seed? No. Do I care if they won that game? No. Did I care if Travis Kelce goes out of Kansas City, a loser? No, I don't care. I just don't care. It was a close game, but I just don't have any rooting interest in that. I just don't care. Let the Broncos get the 1 seed, the 2 seed, or whatever. The Broncos are a good team. That defense is amazing. They're going to be all right in the playoffs, right? The Lions getting blown out by the Vikings with a practice squad quarterback. Eesh. Lions deserve to miss the playoffs as they've officially been eliminated as well for them. Packers get in with that as well. So was there some snoozers yesterday? So what did you guys do? What did you guys watch out there? And that's partly why we went to the movies yesterday. Yeah, just a snooze fest out there. If you may talk about it that way. Some I don't know. So those of you that have been listening to me for a long time, whether on the radio, the podcast days before, and then of course this show that we do now here as well, you guys probably know that I grew up a Lakers fan. I love the Showtime Lakers, right, with Magic Johnson, Kareem, and all of those boys. Loved them to death. So, and I was more a Lakers fan growing up than I was a Suns fan growing up as well. I just was, and things like that. I'm to this day, I'm not a diehard Suns fan. I root for them because I'm here locally. I just know the limitations of the Suns, right? Even the 7 seconds or less Suns. No, they had a chance to win a championship. David Stern screwed them over by suspending, of course, their main players, Sotomayor and Diaw, and downhill from there. They favored the Spurs at that time and stuff to that effect. And I just always been a Lakers fan, but man, I got away from the Lakers when Kobe was there. Not that I think Kobe's was an amazing player. Loved the way he played to death. But what I couldn't stand was in those playoff outfits, especially against the Suns, where he'd sit down in the fourth quarter and not play to send a message to his team they needed more help. That royally made me upset. And I dog Kobe to this day. Kobe's not the dog he said he was when he sat down and on the bench and refused to play because he, didn't have enough good players and he's in the playoffs. Go win the playoff series, Tiger. That's what you get paid for. So that turned me off of them a little bit with the Lakers. And then when LeBron went there, I'm like, I'm not rooting for this team with LeBron on this team. Folks, we're at the point where LeBron James is single-handedly destroying the Los Angeles Lakers. You could argue he did it before because for the last several years when he went there, he was the man. The Buss family, they don't own it anymore, remember. They sold out. There's the guy that owns the Dodgers is the owner of the Lakers now. And, you could argue LeBron has ruined the Lakers by bringing his pals in. Yes, they won the COVID year title, if you want to give them that, which they won a title. Was it a full year? No. Was any of that? No. No, it's definitely, it does it count? Sure, it counts, but it doesn't. It's nobody's holding that up in legacy style, right, for winning that championship with the long break that they had and stuff. So you could say LeBron started ruining the Lakers then with bringing his buddies in, not putting a good team together, et cetera, et cetera. And now he's not the man on the Lakers. Luka is the man on the Lakers. And they have an inexperienced head coach in J.J. Redick there. He's trying to find his footprint in coaching and things to that effect. And JJ Redick, I think, is a good coach. He doesn't handle out off the court stuff well. He doesn't know how to coach these guys. This team was dominant until LeBron came back. You've seen the videos. LeBron getting yelled at against the Suns when he's kind of in the Suns huddle by his coach trying to get him non-distracted to come back. Now he's just flopping all over the court and everything on that stuff. Well, yesterday during the games, of course, Sunday, they get blown out by the Rockets. Not even in this game whatsoever. LeBron's flopping all over the floor like he does. Doesn't even get touched, and he's rolling around like his face just got blown off. And it's just an ugly display out there. I don't think the Lakers like playing with LeBron. The current players on that team, I don't think they like playing with LeBron. But that's beside the point. JJ Redick goes to the podium after the game. And I'm kind of enjoying this implosion by the Lakers also. I think, again, second generational Jeannie Buss and her brothers. Now, Jeannie took over the team from her brothers, and now, like I said, it's been sold off to the one of the owners of the Lakers. I'm sorry, of the Dodgers. And Jeannie Buss just wasn't a good owner. She just kowtowed to LeBron, and, it's a status symbol for her not winning and things to that effect. There was a time where the Lakers used trophies that weren't championship trophies as doorstops. That's gone. Now they hype up the in-season tournament as a banner and things to that effect. So JJ Redick, young head coach, no experience coaching there at the Lakers, dealing with this, and the team, quite frankly, isn't playing well, struggling, not getting back on defense, players flopping. JJ Redick, after the game yesterday, says this about his team.
We've been a good basketball team, and we haven't. We're a terrible basketball team. And tonight we were a terrible basketball team, and that started legitimately right away. We don't care enough to do the things that are necessary. We don't care enough to be a professional. It's, we had it. It can change like that. We don't have it right now. What I said the other night, it's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. And so Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
I have no problem with anything he said. But saying you can tell who it is. He's talking about specific team players there. And one of them he has to be talking about is LeBron James. How's that going to go over in that locker room? How's that going to go over with LeBron James? Does he continue to struggle? Does he continue to do his antics out there moving forward? I'm kind of here to see it. I'll say this. Luka's on board with what JJ Redick's saying. I don't have the clip for it. I didn't pull the clip. But Luka, because the audio was kind of bad, and the NBA.com didn't put it up, so I had to go find it on Twitter and everything. It was kind of audio was bad. They didn't hook up and echoey, etc. But Luka's flat out says, hey, coach is right. This needs to be an uncomfortable practice the way we're playing. He agrees 100% with that. So if you don't know, the tradition of Christmas is normally the NBA's game. The NFL's kind of taking it over, right, by doing games on Christmas now, etc. Last couple of years. Last year, LeBron was all into Christmas Day games. And this year, he's like, oh, we should have it for family. LeBron James has always been high on the Christmas Day games because everybody watches them. Now that the NFL's doing game, not a lot of people are watching them, not like they used to. Now, all of a sudden, LeBron doesn't want to do it. And the tradition of Christmas Day games is the players get together after the game, and they slap hands and do all that stuff, which happens in regular NBA, but it's more pronounced in these Christmas games. LeBron just went straight to the locker room. JJ Redick's calling out not just LeBron, a couple of the other guys dogging there. DeAndre Ayton yesterday, 30-something minutes, I think it was, 2 rebounds. Luka's on board with it. It's Luka's team. The implosion of the Lakers with LeBron, it's going to come to an head. Lakers are going to have to make a decision. Are they going to wait till the end of the year with LeBron? Are they going to make a move before? They're going to be a Chris Paul treatment of LeBron James coming up here. I don't think so, because look what you can see it in the same city. Look how the Clippers are taking abuse for what they did at CP3 and how bad they played that angle. Could you imagine doing something like that, unceremoniously telling LeBron his days are done? See you later, kid. Oh man, the world would explode If it exploded with Chris Paul, it's going to explode with LeBron doing that. They got a decision to make. Dude ain't in their plans. Dude isn't playing well. The dude's not meshing with his team. It's going to be interesting to watch that dilemma. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm here for the meltdown for them. Cavaliers ended up losing to the Knicks, 126-124. Knicks came back in that game to win it. Cavaliers are missing a beat. We've talked about this here on this program a lot. They lost Ott as their offensive, we'll call him an offensive coordinator, right, for Cleveland last several years. They're missing something in Cleveland now. And look what the Suns are doing on this side. Ott is a big piece of why the Cleveland was good as they were. They're still good, don't get me wrong, but they are struggling this year, more so than they were last couple years. Suns are way up. Ott's a guy that changes teams, and the Suns got a good one. We talk about it all the time here on the program. And the interesting thing here is the Spurs have the Thunder's number. Even after the game, SGA came out and said, hey, they've beaten us 3 times this year already. They're a better team than we are right now. The Spurs, make no mistake about it, Wemby isn't even playing full minutes yet. They're restricting him still. The Spurs are a team. Now, playoffs are different. Playoffs basketball changes styles. Oklahoma City, obviously winning the title last year, has playoff experience. Spurs will not when they get there this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works. Spurs are talented, folks. Spurs are good. And listen to me closely here, Phoenix fans, because I get it. I can't stand the Spurs. I can't stand Greg Popovich. He ruined the sport of basketball in my eyes with resting guys all the time, not playing until Christmas. That all came from Greg Popovich and those Spurs teams. Forget about the on-court antics, of Duncan constantly all wide-eyed staring at the ref, and complaining about stuff. Forget about that and those complaints. Greg Popovich single-handedly has ruined the game of basketball. Hack-a-Shack. That's not basketball. That's just manipulating the game in stupid ways because you can't win it right, in my opinion. But they won a lot of games doing that stuff. Now it's peripheral through the league. That's why I can't stand the Spurs and Greg Popovich. And then you add the other stuff on, and it adds to it a lot. This Spurs team is likable. This Spurs team is good. And this Spurs team is going to be, like I said, playoffs change, but this Spurs team on paper and the way they're playing right now could make a finals run here, folks, coming up. So brace yourself for that, of course. Warriors beat the Mavericks yesterday. Anthony Davis got hurt again. Yeah, did you hear me? Anthony Davis, groin injury. This just makes the trade of Luka look even more asinine. It would be one that we documented it here. Luka was not in shape in Dallas. Luka refused to be in shape in Dallas. I did not like Luka. He's a heck of a talent, but I did not like how he was always fat. We made the franchise Luka Honuts because he just loved his donuts and came in fat all the time. Now he goes to LA. He's in shape. He's working hard. The player's coach actually playing hard out there, and he took time off. He took time off there in Dallas in playoffs, especially. But now what you got back for Luka is not a shocker. You all know Anthony. They call him Street Clothes Davis for a reason. I think Charles Barkley started that. Now he's hurt again. This trade is going to go down. This trade's already the worst trade in NBA basketball history. This is probably the worst trade in any professional sports history. And it's looking worse and worse and worse as time goes on. You're not going to get anything for Anthony Davis if you trade him because he's always hurt. You're going to get 25 cents to the dollar, 10 cents to the dollar on that trade when you unload him. And unless they can unload him and get somebody that comes in and performs for them, which I don't know how you can, this is an all-time boneheaded trade here by the Dallas Mavericks. They get blown out yesterday. Then, of course, the Rockets blew out the Lakers last night as well. From the NBA side, look, NBA on Christmas to me has always been a fun time because that's when teams show up and they start to play. From here on out, the good teams will start ramping it up a little bit. But they always play hard on Christmas Day. That's why I've always liked it. Did I pay as much attention to it yesterday? No. Well, NFL games were on, right? Which there was a lot of intrigue out of the NFL side as well. coming up. So let's get you set up for the weekend here in terms of basketball. As we talk about that, Suns, of course, will get back on the court eventually, right? Just feels like the Suns are always um not in it, right? Not playing right now. Well, the NBA Cup screws that up. They're back on the court tonight, 6 p.m. They're at the New Orleans Pelicans. It's easy to look at it and say, and then they got a back to back, by the way. They play the Pelicans tomorrow night as well at 5 p.m. It's hard to win two games in a back to back. It is. They're going to go 1-1 in this game. At best, they're going to go 1-1. The other thing about the Pelicans, you're going to look at them and you're going to go, they only have 8 wins, Steven. What are you talking about? They only have 8 wins. Pelicans aren't good. Pelicans are getting better, and Pelicans are playing better than they were 3 weeks, a month ago. Pelicans are going to play all right against the Suns. Now, can the Suns sweep them? Absolutely. If they play hard, run up and down the court, 100%. Pelicans aren't the easy game that they were a month ago. So back-to-back as well, right? Especially the second night. Suns go out, get the win tonight, 6 p.m. Got to kind of think about tomorrow night a little bit because it's the NBA, of course, tired, et cetera, et cetera. No travel. Just go back to the hotel room and hang out, back to the net backside. So those games are this weekend. That's what your Suns are doing. Pelicans, 6 p.m. tonight, 5 p.m. tomorrow. Then they have a Sunday off. Then they play at the Wizards on Monday. Of course, we'll be here on Monday and set the stage for you. Next week on NBA as well. So Suns get back on that court here next couple days. Suns 16-13 right now. I said Bruce Cooper was on the show a couple weeks ago. We kind of asked, what are the Suns going to be? Because they went through that hard part of the schedule. What are the Suns going to be here coming up on at the end of the year? And I said they're going to be a couple games around 500. There'll be 2-3 games below it, 2-3 games above it, but they're going to be in that 500 range at the end of December. 16-13 right now. They're right there at that point. Now, that'd be nice if they're in a point where they could be more than 2 or 3 games above 500 with their schedule coming up. You win these two against the Pelicans, you beat the woolly Wizards that are terrible, right? You can prove me wrong by being better than 2 to 3 games around 500 coming up as well for your Phoenix Suns. So that's your basketball coming up this weekend. Then, just because we're talking basketball right now, before we close the book on that, this weekend, no ASU men's basketball this weekend. They next play January 3rd against Colorado, 3 p.m. on that Saturday here at home. Then they got 10th-ranked BYU there at BYU on January 7th. So just to give you an idea what men's basketball for ASU is kind of looking at. Arizona Wildcats, they do play before the New Year does happen. They don't play till Monday, 7 p.m. San Diego State, Arizona on Monday, December 29th. Coming up. So they do have that game. Then they don't play again. They got Utah coming up on January 3rd. Then Kansas State after that on the 7th. So they do play before the new year here coming up on the 29th at home there against San Diego State. And then, of course, you got GCU also here in town. GCU, at least in terms of basketball programs, the men's side, they don't play until after the new year as well. January 3rd, they got Colorado State at home over there in Phoenix as well. Then they go to Boise State on the 7th, San Jose State after that. So Arizona's the only one of those squads. Of course, Suns 2 games tonight, then Monday night, all on the road. And then kind of a break here for our college teams, except for Arizona plays on the 29th coming up for them. Women's basketball, by the way, ASU women's basketball, and I apologize. I had that up here. I didn't mention it. Good record, folks. Fun team to watch as well. They of course been dominating here, 14-0. They actually, I think they play New Year's Eve. Yes. Wednesday, December 31st, 2 p.m. They're at Utah. So ASU women's basketball, try to keep that undefeated streak there running. At Utah here coming up December 31st. So there you go, folks. Just your basketball schedule. Get you set up for the weekend here coming up. We still have college football to talk about a little bit more in depth. One bowl game. I don't understand this bowl game scheduling. It's ridiculous. Nothing on Christmas Eve except for the Hawaii Bowl. Well, that bowl turned out to be interesting. And I'm not talking about the brawl afterwards, which was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Of course, we got NFL stuff as well. And folks, Before we go to break here, I'm going to give you a second here. You might, if you have kids in the car, I know some of you listen to us with kids in the car. I appreciate it. First of all, hi kids, how you doing? Um, the Phillies, not the Phillies, excuse me, the Flyers, Philadelphia Flyers, a radio broadcast crew that said something on Hot Mics. Now, it's not the most egregious thing I've heard in my life. But if you have young kids, and we'll do this before the break here. If you have young kids, you might not want them to hear this, right? Coming up here. So I'm just going to warn you now. Turn it off. Come back in 2 minutes. We'll be in the commercial break and stuff like that. This is amazing to me. Now, I get it. You don't want to say this stuff on air. You don't. It's not good. The hot mic situation, the reaction to it. Anybody been to Philadelphia? The language that those guys speak, the way they talk to people there. This is what you're upset about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, if you have kids in the car, give me a minute here before you turn this back on or turn the volume down, just in case. He basically talks about a sexual act. That's what it is. So I'll let you know. There's no swear words. There's no, derogatory terms. There's no racist terms, anything like that. He talks about a sex act here as he goes to break. Here it is, Philadelphia Flyers radio broadcast crew as they go to break, and then, of course, when they think their microphones are quieted.
Against Buffalo, and the crowd is booing that. There have been a couple of icings the other way that we didn't agree with, so Crimea River. Thompson and Oslin, the goal scorers, late in the second period. And Philadelphia, we said, sometimes the Flyers get a sense of urgency when they're playing from behind. Now they're going to take the TV timeout. We'll take it as well. 7 gone in the third. It's 3-2 Buffalo on the Philadelphia Flyers Broadcast Network.
Here it comes, folks, if you listen.
Pump it up, it up, it up, it up. While you're down there, would you mind blowing me?
I think we're still on the air, Tim. No, we're not, are we?
Okay. As I said, something you don't want to go out on air, on a radio broadcast, on a TV broadcast, and a sporting event. I understand that 100%. I get it. Honest mistake on a hot mic. Not the worst thing we've heard on a hot mic by any stretch of the imagination. I get it. I get that side of it. The reaction to it's what's catching me off guard here. First of all, again, hopefully if you're not offended by that, I'm not making fun of you if you are offended by it. I want to be clear on that as well. I'm going to read the apology here coming up. I get it. I get it. You could be offended by that. I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Yee. I wouldn't be embarrassed if I had young kids in the car. I'd be like, whoa, whoa. And I'd move on with my life. Let's not address that. Let's just move on. Not the worst thing I've heard. The reaction to it. So if you don't know, he has been suspended for comments made there during the hot mic moment. And I get it if you are offended by it too as well. I'm not making fun of you if you're offended by that. I'm not. So he is suspended now moving forward. I was trying to find out how long, 2 games is what he's suspended there for saying that in a hot mic moment. One thing we do here, we don't say anything going into a commercial break until we hear in our ears, mics are off. Because then if something goes out, not that we do anything, we just sit here and stare at each other. But not that we do say stuff, but then if it goes out, well, a producer's gonna not enjoy their day if that happens, if they tell us our mic's off and then we say something. We don't do anything like that here, of course, but 2 game suspension for that. Like I said, I get it. You don't want to go out. Then the apology comes, and I see the apology here in it as well. Flyers Broadcasting Network put this out. It's from Tim Saunders is his name, if you don't know. He's a heck of a play-by-play guy in the NHL. During last night's game in Buffalo, I made an error in judgment with my comments that were made when I thought we were at a commercial break. I recognize how offensive my remarks were and the harm it has caused. I get it. You might not like that type of talk. You might be offended by that type of talk. You might not want your kids to hear that type of talk. That's why I gave you the warning before I played it. I didn't feel the need to bleep it. It's not the worst thing on the planet I've ever heard. You can easily talk to your kids if they ask what that is and deflect it and move on with their day, right? It's nothing bad. Like, it's nothing horrendous, let's put it that way, to where you're like, oh. That's what I'm trying to say here. There's levels to this. But what harm has him saying that caused anybody? Maybe I'm ignorant. Somebody tell me. He didn't. I get it's derogatory. We don't know who he was saying it to. I know I saw some people go, if you're saying that to a woman, okay, you're right. If you say that to a woman, that's terrible. We don't know. Why? I'm not going to make that assumption. Maybe he's saying it to a dude. Oh, well, then he's making fun of gay people if he does that derogatory to gay people. Okay, I get it. I can understand that if that's your thoughts. We don't know. He goes on to say, I take full responsibility and sincerely apologize to the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic, and all those affected by my remarks. To all Flyers fans and listeners of our broadcast, I promise I will hold myself to a higher standard moving forward to ensure our broadcast is a safe and respectful place everyone can enjoy. All I'm saying here, folks, is no, you don't want that going out over the air. 100% correct. Suspend him for a game. Okay, fine. 2 games, and you have to put out that apology? If I didn't play that clip for you and I just said, here's the apology, and suspended for 2 games, every single person watching this program right now would be coming back with just the things you thought he said. Way, way worse than what he actually said in a hot mic moment. I'm just saying, is this an overreaction? And like I said, go to Philadelphia and listen to the way people talk. They're all like, for that? He's getting in trouble for that? You can hear worse with the hot mics on the ice, folks. And I get it. You have standards as the broadcast crew and stuff to that. I'm not saying you just shouldn't get in trouble for it. You know, suspended for a game and have to do an apology. But they're acting like he said the worst thing on the face of the planet. And that's what I have a problem with. I can't tell you most of the comments on most of the stuff I've read about this are just ripping the Flyers for the suspension and all that stuff as well. So, yeah. One guy says, as soon as my kid heard it, he started profusely throwing up everywhere. He keeps asking me every 30 seconds when he'll stop feeling this pain. He's still throwing up. The sarcasm makes me laugh. So obviously I didn't hear the broadcast live. I do not listen to Flyers radio broadcast. But when I saw he was suspended, when I saw the thing, I went, what the world did this guy say on a hot mic? I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. This guy went someplace he shouldn't have gone. And he did, technically. But then I heard it and I went, there's got to be more to this, right? Always be aware of cameras. Always be aware of microphones. Especially in today's day and age. Just put it that way. Well, folks, let's see what trouble I can get into here as we go into this break here. We're having some fun here on this Friday. We just came in to do a little bit of a show. We appreciate you joining in. I see you guys that are watching us live right now. Of course, we'll get this posted right afterwards as well on YouTube and the free podcast system out there. But appreciate you guys catching us here as well. For those of you waking up this morning and relaxing, hopefully you're off today. But like I said, we might do the full 2 hours. We might not. I promise you at least an hour. We got plenty of college football. NFL, I have Dale's picks for the weekend. We'll talk about that a little bit. Let's have some more fun, folks, would we? come on back with us. The main event. I'm Stephen McCollum. Come on back, folks. And we're back here. Main event time. Your humble host, Stephen McCollum. 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae. Well, he's off today. Probably off playing golf, knowing him very well. Grandkids are over in California having some fun. So, I'm sure he's just relaxing here today, playing some golf. We'll be back on Monday and Tuesday of this week coming up. And then we're off for the rest of the week for the New Year's. I'll be out of town on a little small trip over there to Texas and New Mexico there for the ASU Sun Bowl game. And we're going to do some sightseeing over there. I know people go, sightseeing in New Mexico? There's some places to see there, folks. And get the kids out there now that they're a little bit older, since last time they were there as well, is where we're headed. So Monday, Tuesday, off the rest of the week, be back on the 5th. Regular shows again will be, of course, the main event, and then McCollum on Business be back on that 5th. As well coming up here. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670. Autumn says, I want in on the dinner with Braxton. Well, of course you'll be in. You're going to drive me down there if Dale doesn't do it. Now I just got myself in trouble. Text us to 623-252-6670 at TME Sports Show as well for you guys watching us, whether you watch us live here on demand. Later on Robat TV, of course, catch us at YouTube as well, or the free podcast system. Text us anytime we see them. Have some fun with them as well out there. And all right, folks, college football. The Rate Bowls today down there in Chase Field. I read someplace that this is the last Rate Bowl at Chase Field. Is it going away? Or are they just moving stadiums is the question that I got here as well. They had strong viewership last year. They had 3.5 million viewers. It's not called the Fiesta Bowl committee anymore. Fiesta Sports something was what the Fiesta Bowl committee is called now. They run the Rate Bowl as well. They're still committed to it, but is it moving away from Chase Field? I did a little Google search during the break there to see, and nobody really talks about it. Nobody really talks about it as well. But that's why we're going to get out of here quick today, because we're right here in downtown. We're over here at the Arizona Center now for our studio. And, right here, I can literally on the 7th floor. So I can literally look out, not on my side of the building. My side of the building goes north downtown, as you guys, if you follow McCollum on Business, you see it in the windows behind me. But I can go over to the refrigeration room or the break room on the other side of the building and look right out. See right there, Chase Field sitting there. Can't see the basketball stadium because of all the high rises that have been built in the condos and everything that have been built and everything there. But so we're gonna get out of here. 3:30 start time, and traffic's gonna be a mess. So. Gonna get out of here quickly. Me and Ethan are, and Kobe gonna get out of here quickly. But over the weekend, Friday, or excuse me, Wednesday, I keep forgetting what day it is. Wednesday, the Hawaii Bowl happened there. This ended up being a fantastic bowl game, which is kind of what we want to see out there. Some of these lower tier bowl games, generally they can be good. They've turned into little snoozers as lately, as we kind of saw here, right? Washington State, Utah State, 34-21 victory there for Washington State last Monday. Then we had the Tuesday games, of course. I have Dale's picks here as well. Did I put those out? Did I post them? I'm not sure. If not, I'll make sure I go back and post them up there with the X's. But yeah, Toledo, Louisville. Louisville won that game 27-22. Then you had Western Kentucky, Southern Miss. Well, Western Kentucky won that game 27-16. And then you had Ohio and UNLV. I can tell you this, looking now, Dale had UNLV in this game. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dale had UNLV in this game, and I went with Ohio in this game. And Ohio won the game 17-10. Ohio just lost their coach for breaking university policies. UNLV had Dan Mullen. He was excited to be back in a bowl game. I went with Ohio because a lot of Ohio players didn't back out of this game, and they ended up getting the victory 17-10. I was rooting for UNLV. I thought UNLV could possibly do it. But just too many guys missing for them, right? So they got that win. Then you had Cal and Hawaii there on Wednesday, right? Christmas Eve in this game. Fantastic game. If you missed it, end of the game. Last play for Hawaii down here in this game. They need a touchdown basically to win it. I think it's even fourth down, to be honest with you. Bring the backup quarterback in. Well, let's look at the Hawaii comeback here. Official comeback, and they come back from a big deficit as well. Here's the final offensive play. Backup quarterback in. Hawaii's comeback here, folks.
He'll look to throw. He's going to the end zone. Sacco makes the catch.
Of course, Hawaii's the home team. They're playing in Hawaii.
The junior quarterback comes in.
Junior quarterback off the bench. Throws a touchdown. Put him up on the lane. No, Cal gets another chance. Cal dominated this game early. When I first had this game on, I turned it on. It was ridiculous. The score was completely sided one way to Cal. And I was like, crap. I picked Hawaii. Dale picked Hawaii. This is awful. Come back from 21 down. Hawaii wins the game with that. Things. Now, Cal gets the ball back. And I don't understand why this is becoming an epidemic in sports, college sports specifically. You'll see it in high school sports. You'll see videos of high school stuff doing this. Let's check into the game ender here. Cal's got one more shot. Going to try, the hook and ladder type plays and, shuffling the ball around. And eventually Hawaii gets it. Here's how the game ends, folks.
Gonna try it here. Got to get rid of it, and does. Still pitching it. And that's it. Flags on the field. And it's getting chippy. This is not good.
Getting chippy, huh? That's
this
what
is
we're
not
calling
good.
it.
This is going to mar what has been a fantastic game. A tremendous comeback by Hawaii.
A lot of crossover on these teams. Guys that grew up with one another. A lot of island ties. Emotions getting tested.
This is how the game ends, folks. A brawl on the field. You can take it down. It's just disgusting. Fantastic winning of the game there by Hawaii. Cal player gets blocked when the ball was on the ground, takes offense to it, starts that melee. Then they break that up, and I'm not going to show you the video on this because this is just stupidity. Then a Cal player walks over, sucker punches a Hawaii player, starts up again along the benches and everything after the game. There's an epidemic here going on with sports. Like I said, check out. You'll see it all over your Twitter feed if you're on X and everything. High school game ends, people start fighting left and right. Middle of a game, before games, people start fighting. What the heck? What is happening in the world we live in where we got to get to that stuff? I get it, emotions are high and all that. Used to not go down this way, and it just right. I sitting there and enjoyed that game, saw the touchdown pass, paid attention to Cal, see if they could do anything. They couldn't. And then it's just like disgust. I literally was like, loop, off. Caught some of the other melees. I saw it on X later on. Didn't catch it. I just saw it later on. I don't get it, man. Take your loss. Go in the locker room, especially if you're Cal. Spend a week in Hawaii. For the love of God, what are you angry about? It's just turned disgusting, and I don't know if I'm getting too old for this. It's just stupidity. It's just stupidity is what it is. It just ruins it all together. There's going to come a time where game's won and both teams' offense is going to come up. And the players are just going to have to, walk to the sideline. Fence is going to come. They can't go on the field. They're going to be shuffled into the locker room because they can't control their emotions. I get angry about it. The other news out there, that was that. No bowl games yesterday, of course, with NFL and NBA rocking there. We got a slate of games coming up here over the next few days, especially Saturday coming up here. But Ray Bowl today, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Other news out there, Michigan's having a problem hiring a head coach, folks. This is what happens when you fire your coach with no plan. Penn State went through this. Penn State, fired Franklin, one of the first teams to fire their head coach, and struggled to find someone. And have a plan. I know Michigan was sprung on them, but you have an idea of who you like coach you. You should. You should have a list of 5 or 6 people like, hey, these are guys we'd be interested in if something happens. They can't hire him. Penn State can't hire anybody. They're still dealing with Terry Smith as their interim head coach. Michigan, going through rumor mill. That doesn't help you when you're a big program. Whoever they hire is going to look like they're like the 30th choice. And I don't know why this name didn't come up earlier. If Arizona State had an opening, I'd want you to go get this guy. He's got a lot of downside to him in terms of, right, just teams disappoint over the years, can't get over that hump, very much. He was at Utah for a long time. Kyle Whittingham. If I was Michigan, throw that boatload of money to him. One reason, he's older, just left Utah. You can get him in there. He can be your quote-unquote interim head coach. Build that program up. He will recruit the right kids there. There will be toughness on that team. Get him there. Even if he's there for 2-3 years and groom a successor. That's one way you could look at that. His name's coming up in that Michigan search now. Everybody else has been underwhelming. Obviously, Kenny Dillingham was talked there for a while. They wanted DeBoer. That's obviously gone by the wayside. They're just going through people left and right. Kyle Whittingham will get that program back, and he'll do it the right way. All those scandals you got will go by the wayside with Kyle Whittingham there. Puts that stability back in your program. He says he wants to coach again. So that is a focus there. I would make that hire in 2 seconds if I was Michigan. 2 seconds. I wouldn't even think about it. How much is it going to take for you to coach here, coach? Perfect. There you go. Truck's backing up right now. Boop, 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 boop. But whoever they hire, even if it is Whittingham, it looks like it's the 20th option. They've been turned down a bunch. This is where it gets embarrassing. Same thing with Penn State. I know they got Matt Campbell, right? From Iowa State there. Eventually, they got him. They had Terry Smith there as the interim head coach for a long time while trying to figure it out. And, Penn State had to go all the way down to the levels to get to Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell's a heck of a head coach. How he's going to do at Penn State, I don't know. Iowa State to Penn State's a big jump. Utah to Michigan, big jump. But I'll tell you this, Kyle Whittingham, for a program that has all these question marks, all these investigations happening around it, some question marks about it. You're not sure if the AD is going to survive this very much longer. when the investigation's done, they already know the answer. I believe he will get blown out. A new AD will have to come in. He's been the figurehead since 2015, I think it was, when all these scandals in the basketball program with Juwan Howard, the softball program. I think there was a couple other programs that had issues too. He's going to get blown out. Kyle Willingham's the guy that can weather that storm. And he's not going to be there probably for the next 10 years. Get him in there, quote unquote, interim coach for 2, 3, 4 years, groom another guy to come up and take his spot. Boom, done. Michigan, get off your duff. Show you're smart at something again because you've been looking bad lately. Let's get it done. When we come back here, we'll talk about the bowl games today and everything. I got Dale's picks right here and my picks right also. Can't really see it on that screen there because of the lighting. There you go. I'll tilt it and you can kind of see it there. So we got everybody's picks here through the weekend, and then of course on Monday we'll pick again here, and I'll of course put them up on Twitter and everything. But we'll talk about that. The Rate Bowl today. Hey, if you're going out to that Rate Bowl over here at Chase Field, get some special guests there again this year. I'll tell you that. We'll give them a shout out here coming up. So come on back, folks. Second hour main event. And we're back here, second hour main event here on this casual Friday out there. I was going to wear a casual shirt today, like a hoodie or something. And I decided I haven't worn this shirt in a while. I go, you know what? I'm going to wear my salmon striped shirt here today and do it. But it is, make no mistake about it, it's a casual day as we're getting through just what's happened over the last couple of days. Second hour here, I'm not going to promise you I'll be here the whole second hour. We'll go, of course, finish up college football, get into NFL stuff. We might make it to the hour. We might cut it off a little short. But a little casual day here. Monday, Tuesday, back to regular shows. Me and Dale Hillestrate, 17-year NFL veteran. Of course, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. And Dale will be back on Monday. And Tuesday, we have Uncle Lou at 8 o'clock again, similar to last Tuesday's format. And then Bruce Cooper, of course, in the last hour as well on Tuesday. Then we're off for the rest of the week. And then all the programming comes back on the 5th. As I said earlier in the show, The Real Matrix on hiatus here. We might throw up a year-end. He's working on that. Might come in this week and record a year-end or year-in review show coming his way. So if he does that with a special guest, we'll get that thrown up on Wednesday. So stay tuned at SMAC500 and on X. The social medias as well, and we'll get those posted. Of course, you can see The Real Matrix here at the Robot TV, the YouTube page, free podcast system as well. You can just search at the Real Matrix on your favorite podcast system, and it comes right up. For those of you that want to watch that, the Angry Patriot, just want you to go into that show with an open mind and see what he presents out there. And if certain subjects, we're actually going to redo the way we post the shows on the YouTube and the podcast system. It's a little bit more descriptive on what the subject is, because some subjects you might not be interested in, but other ones you might out there. So we're working on all that right now, and we'll be rolling into the new year with that new format for that show and everything. But overall, just fantastic feedback for it. I'm shocked. It's not my type of programming, but people like it. People love it. I can tell you that with the feedback we've gotten on it. Of course, that's all done here with mine and Kobe and Ethan and Riley's production company here, and we put it out here at Robot TV, of course. But hey, let's get this show rolling here and see if we can make it to 2 hours. Probably not, but let's see what we can do. Right? Text us 623-252-6670. And then, of course, at TME Sports Show as well, for those of you that are watching us live here. We see you on the screen here telling us who's all on board and watching. You know, it's your day off or you're at work. Yeah, we'll pass your time at work here if you're at work today. Here, if you're catching us later on as well, thank you very much as well. So as we are talking about that. So wrap up college football here. Well, we got some bowl games coming up. Saturday, a whole slate of bowl games coming our way, including some NFL stuff out there. So today being Friday, we start off this morning at 11 a.m. Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Central Michigan at Northwestern in this game. Northwestern's 10.5-point favorites. Me and Dale both have Northwestern winning this game. I wanted to find any way possible to go with Central Michigan, being that the game's in Michigan. I just think you go to a different talent level at Northwestern, so that's why I'm kind of leaning that way. So we'll go Northwestern here in that game. Then again, as I said, 2:30 p.m. I think I said 3:30 earlier. It's 2:30 p.m. today here downtown Phoenix, Chase Field. You got the Rate Bowl out there. New Mexico Lobos flew into town last week. I saw their playing land, and then they're playing the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Minnesota's probably happy to be out of that weather to get over here. Hey, we're going over to New Mexico here next week. We'll be driving that way next Tuesday afternoon for the, of course, going to El Paso. There, Minnesota's 1.5-point favorites going into this game. Dale has Minnesota in this game, and kind of the same concept. I do like the New Mexico Lobos a lot. Now they have new quarterbacks this year, new offensive coordinator. Their quarterback transferred to Utah. Their offensive coordinator went to Utah. But they're a really good team in their conference. I like New Mexico a lot in this deal. But again, you're running into a higher talent level here when you get to Minnesota side things. I wouldn't be shocked if New Mexico does win this game, but I'm going to go with a favorite here in Minnesota here today as well. Then later on, that's at the Rate Bowl right here in downtown. By the way, if you're going to the Rate Bowl, I don't know if they'll show it on TV. If you're going to the Rate Bowl, give a loud applause. I think it's at halftime. It might be during one of the timeouts. Scottsdale Christian Academy football team will be there. They invited them back. They were there last year. Get down on the field and get introduced out there. Of course, 3-time state champions now for them. We'll be out there. We'll be announced here. And, so give them a loud cheer, of course, SCA, as they're out there at the Rate Bowl later on today at 2:30 p.m. At some point, they'll announce. I don't know when it is, to be honest with you. Halftime, maybe? I don't know if I saw that info. But they will be introduced there as well. Then tonight, you've got Florida International at UTSA. Dale picked UTSA in this game, and I'm going to go Florida International. UTSA is missing 15 to 20 kids going into this game. We played that clip a while ago. By the way, UTSA is still favored by 5.5 as of right now. UTSA, we watched the head coach where he was like, I don't know how we're going to field the team. We've been hurt by the transfer portal because we made a bowl game, and our kids are wanted elsewhere, and they're getting offered money to not play in this game, etc. This is happening over there at Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas, Texas, where SMU plays. UTSA, not too far away, right? San Antonio. Florida International, I'm going to go with them just because I've been burned so far this year with players not playing on teams in a large quantity of them. UTSA is probably going to win this, but I'm going to go with my gut here and go Florida International, knowing how many kids are sitting out on UTSA coming up here. Then you got Saturday's bowl games, folks. There's a lot of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games on Saturday coming up as well. Of course, no games on Sunday, and then one game on Monday coming up here and then we get into the meat of the playoffs here coming up in terms of bowl games with the New Year's holiday that way. We start off on Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, you got Pitt at Eastern Carolina coming that way. Pitt right now is 10-point favorites. I am going with Pitt also, 9 a.m. kickoff. By the way, Annapolis, Maryland. Kind of a cold weather place there for them as well. Then you got Penn State at Clemson coming up this weekend. From the Bronx. Forget about it. Yankee Stadium is this game. Clemson's 3-point favorites in this game. Dale, if you don't know, picks favorites here. He's going with Clemson in this game. Look, Dabo's an interesting cat. Doesn't like changes, doesn't like transfer portal, doesn't bring kids in. Going up to the Bronx. I'm going to stick my neck out. Now, Matt Campbell's not coaching in this game, but kids want to play hard for him. Interim head coach there's probably going to be fed some things, stuff like that. I'm going to stick my neck out here in the Penn State Bowl, and I'm going to go Penn State to win this game this weekend as well. I do not like that game. I don't understand why you play it in the Bronx with the weather that it is. But there you go, 10 a.m. kickoff on Saturday. Then you got UConn at Army. UConn's head coach leaving, going to a bigger school there. Army's 8.5-point favorites. Excuse me, Army's 9.5-point favorites coming into this game. Army's beating UConn, and it's not going to be close, folks. You saw the Army-Navy battle. Army's just a ground and pound type of a team. And they're quite frankly, they have kids. Now they're not, top level kids, but they got kids that are just at a different level than UConn is there. So Army's going to win that game. By the way, played at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. 12:15 p.m. on Saturday for that. Then you got 22nd ranked Georgia Tech at 12th ranked BYU. Y'all know what game this is. This is the best bowl game, the best sponsorship out there. The trophy is an actual toaster. Mascots hold signs. You eat one at the end of it. Folks, I've never had a Pop-Tart a day in my life. I know that freaks a lot of people out. I know it does. Never had a Pop-Tart a day in my life. I've been around them. My kids used to eat them. I've never once been like, oh, that looks edible. I'm going to eat that. This is my favorite bowl game. It's not even close in terms of marketing. It's not even close. Pop-Tart Bowl is one to watch just for that. Then you get Georgia Tech, BYU in this game. Orlando, Florida coming up here. BYU's favored by 4. BYU is going to do the Big 12 well. Dale has BYU, and I'm going with BYU in this game as well. They're in Orlando. They're going to be eating a Pop-Tart and celebrating with the Pop-Tart. After this game, BYU will. They're going to hold up that toaster trophy. They put in Pop-Tarts on the top, and they ding, and they pop out. Best bowl game marketing on the face of the planet, period. If every bowl marketed it this way, it would be fantastic. Just saying. Then you got Miami of Ohio, Fresno State at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. That's the Arizona Bowl down there in Arizona Stadium down there in Tucson. Look, support the local bowl games, right? If you're down there in Tucson, go pick up a couple cheap tickets for this game. It's going to be on the CW network. But Miami, Ohio, Fresno State. Fresno State's 5.5-point favorites coming to this game, and I do like Fresno State in this game. So does Dale also. So support it. I know it's Tucson. I know it's Arizona. I know it's a Saturday. 2:30 p.m. Go have some fun down there in the Tucson Bowl, folks. Then after that, you've got 3:45 p.m., the New Mexico Bowl, 25th ranked North Texas. San Diego State, this is over there in Albuquerque, University Stadium. Right now, North Texas is 5.5-point favorites. They're losing their coach after this game. Coach is coaching this game before he leaves and moves on here as well. San Diego State, not very good this year, I didn't feel. They struggled to run the football and other things to that effect. I got North Texas winning this game, and so does Dale here as we are talking right now. The New Mexico Bowl. Then you got 19th ranked Virginia against Missouri in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Missouri's 4-point favorites going into this game. SEC bias? Or is Virginia going to do something? Dale has Missouri. I'm going Virginia in this game to shock that SEC school here coming up as well for 18th or 19th ranked Virginia, who technically won the ACC, folks. Pointing that out to you. Then you got LSU and 21 ranked Houston at 7:15 p.m. from Houston, Texas. Houston's the home team here, NRG Stadium. Now, they're not in their stadium. They are playing where the Texans play in the NFL. Houston's 2.5-point favorites against LSU. I do like Houston at home here in this game, and Dale has them as well in this game coming up. There you go, folks. Friday, Saturday, our picks, but most importantly, just going through the games. Got the Rape Bowl today here in town. Got the Arizona Bowl on Saturday, of course, down there in Tucson. Pop-Tart Bowl on Saturday as well. Must-watch television, not for the football, for the marketing geniuses at the Pop-Tart. Every bowl needs to do that. And these bowls would not be meaningless bowl games if you do that stuff. Then, of course, when we come back on Monday, we'll look at Monday's game, Tuesday, and then we get into, of course, the rest of the weekend's games going into that before we get into some more college football playoffs here as well while we're gone coming up. Of course, while we're gone, ASU plays Duke in the Sun Bowl next week. You got Arizona SMU on January 2nd on that Friday over there in San Diego. Ooh, some bowl games getting rolling, folks, as well that we're looking at. So that wraps up the college football, setting you up for the weekend. Now let's talk a little NFL stuff out there. Christmas Day games. Did you guys find that fun? Anybody? Anybody find that fun by chance? Vikings had 76 total offensive yards yesterday. They had one play that was 65 yards, folks, and they won the game. That is a game that we picked last week. Lions and Vikings. Me and Dale both picked the Lions in that game. I said with Lou last week, I said, man, the Lions are going to run all over the Vikings. It's not even going to be pretty. It's going to be a dominating affair. The Lions are going to blow the Vikings out. They're going to keep the ball out of the offense of the Vikings. Vikings offense is going to do nothing with the third-string quarterback. They're going to do nothing at all. Well, I was right on that, except for the Vikings won. It was not a blowout by the Lions going to that game. Brutal game for the Lions. Eliminated from the playoffs, lose 23-10 in that game. There's no excuse. I thought the Lions would make the playoffs this year. I did tell you the Vikings would miss the playoffs this year early in the season. I have a year-long bet on that. I did say I do have a bet that I don't remember their over/under, but I did bet the under for Detroit, and they're at 8 wins right now, 8-8. And them and Minnesota are basically tied for fourth place. Detroit does have the tiebreaker there, but they're battling it out for last place in that division. And I did say that Detroit would be under, and I did say Vikings would miss the playoffs. I did not have Detroit missing the playoffs, though. I did tell you they would struggle early in this year with the offensive and defensive coordinators. They did at times, but it's actually gotten worse as the season's gone on, and that's the bigger surprise to me. And the offensive side, yeah, Jared Goff had, 5 turnovers yesterday? The offensive side of it, dare I say it, after that performance yesterday, hasn't necessarily been the problem for the Lions. That defensive side has regressed beyond belief. That defense needs a lot of help for the Lions going into next year. Jared Goff had 197 yards yesterday. Yeah. Brosmer, 51 yards, 9 completions, 16 attempts, 51 yards, folks, is what he had. His running back had two of his running backs had more yardage than him, Addison and Jones. Addison had 65. That was that one play, 65 yards for Minnesota. 18 attempts, 53 yards for Jones yesterday. They had more than the passing yards of the quarterback, and they got that win. Justin Jefferson, 4 catches, 30 yards. He's going to become a disgruntled guy here if they continue doing this. Lions eliminated from the playoffs. Me and Dale both picked them, of course, yesterday's game. That was the only game we had yesterday coming up this weekend. Did you enjoy the Cowboys-Commanders game? 30-23 Cowboys win in that one. We didn't pick it on this stuff, but, battling it out there. Cowboys at 7 wins. Got the Cowboys at 7.5. I'm going to be sweating this weekend. I got 2 more games here. Cowboys are probably going to make me lose that bet. Under 7.5 for them coming up. I at least win the Vikings missing the playoff bet. I'm going to get the under on the Lions. I think their over-under was 9.5 or 10. So I think I'm going to get that one with the Lions. We'll see. Better there. Vikings missed the playoffs I got. Broncos had them winning the division. Thanks to Uncle Lou. Put that little cheese on that. They won 20-13 over the Chiefs yesterday. And I get it. Amazon game. Good game. Broncos had to score a touchdown to take the lead at the end. Chiefs, with their third-string quarterback, had a chance technically. They had an opportunity to go down and score. You had no faith they were going to. The Chiefs quarterback there, Ola Duncan, I think is his name, 66 total yards in this game, 13 of 22. That's hit some Travis Kelce there at the end and run down the field. Two things struck me in this game. One, Chiefs are an old franchise. Yes, you don't win with third-string quarterbacks unless you're the Vikings playing the Lions. Denver's on their way to the 1 seed. Now, a couple games left here, but they keep it going there. They get some space there against the Chargers as well, just in their own division, to win the division. This was probably, I'll just tell you guys, this is Travis Kelce's last year in the NFL. He's retired. I thought he was going to retire last year. Decided to come back for one more season. Generally, that becomes a mistake, right? You should have gone away with the Super Bowl. Hard to run it back to 4 in a row. And just been an awful season for the Chiefs in terms of their expectations over the last 10 years. And I get it. It's his last home game there at Arrowhead. Taylor's there. His mom's there. Everybody's crying. He's emotional during the national anthem. Afterwards, he's dabbing up everybody. Even on the opposing team, the Broncos, they're going up to him to talk to him. Taking his time, get off the field and all of that stuff. Travis Kelce's retiring, folks. And he needs to. One, go enjoy your life with Taylor Swift. But the Amazon Prime finish there with him was just nauseating. Travis Kelce would not get this pub if it wasn't who he's getting married to. He wouldn't. But there's something weird happening after this game. So they're focusing on Travis Kelce going off the field. They focused on him all night last night and everything, right? As he's leaving the field. Then the Amazon Prime cameras on the field are following Travis Kelce, as he's leaving the field and going up the locker room. They have cameras all over these locker rooms. They have overhead cameras, but this is a guy actually following him. I think to me this is just a dysfunction of the way the Chiefs just run their organization. Amazon Prime's giving props there. They have cameras everywhere. Some a-hole staffer gets in front of the Amazon Prime camera guy, starts talking smack. Here we go. Now this is live on the broadcast, by the way. They have the mic up on this camera, no less, so you can hear the conversation in here. The camera's following Travis Kelce. They're giving him his props going into the locker room, kind of a final Arrowhead farewell. And some grumpy Chiefs guy decides to be an a-hole. Here we go, folks. If you didn't see it live, this is what happened live yesterday on Amazon Prime. This is Kelce blocked here.
For what could be the final time at Arrowhead.
I told you.
We don't know. Somebody told somebody. He throw it up right there. Oh yeah, he's ready to roll.
Look, they have cameras everywhere.
For whatever reason, don't ask me. No.
I like how Al Michaels digs that loser on the Chiefs. Look at that, they got cameras everywhere. And that goes like, I told him. And then he gets the screen. I told him he can't come up here. They have cameras everywhere. Who is that cranky bald guy keeping Kelce out of the spotlight? And he's like, I told him, come get the guy. Who's that loser on the Chiefs right there, folks? That's what I want to know. Crying, I told him. Who are you in a sweatshirt? Staffer? You're going to run your mouth like that? That actually makes me angry. I don't know who that. He just wanted to keep the camera. I'm gonna keep that cameraman down. You see it all the time, folks. As somebody that covers events a lot, you see it all the time. They just treat camera people like garbage at times. That guy's a staffer for the Chiefs. I told him not to come up here. It's good to hear Al Michaels kind of be like, well, that guy's being a jerk, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's cameras everywhere. And that one bald guy, I told you not to come up here, crying like a little baby. To me, that's the Chiefs, man. Just a bunch of crying crybabies. I tell you, don't do it my way. Such a joke of an organization. A bunch of crybabies when it doesn't go their way. Wonder how I really feel about it. Like earlier this year, right? The Cardinals got 4 turnovers from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they lost that game, and we all went, how did you lose that game? I just want to reiterate. Vikings won by 13 points yesterday. Their quarterback, Max Brosmer. He's the only NFL quarterback in the Super Bowl era to play the entire game, finish with under 70 passing yards, have 7 sacks, 7+ sacks, and still get the win. That's how bad of a season it's been in terms of the Lions and their expectations and stuff to that effect. They got to rebuild that defense. They have to rebuild that defense to have any chance to move forward. The offense isn't perfect, but that defense gives up too many points, can't stop people on the Lions. Is something to pay attention to coming forward for there. In terms of the Cardinals front, they got the Bengals this weekend. So they came out with the Pro Bowler, Trey McBride and Budda Baker, get into the Pro Bowl. Who gets snubbed? And it is a snub, folks. It is 100% a snub. Josh Sweat gets snubbed from the Pro Bowl. I pulled this audio and this video from 98.7. Trailer Drake got it there for us. He could have pulled it from any of the other ones there as well. At the locker room, Sweat isn't too happy about being snubbed in the program. He's got a point. He's got a right to feel angry, but who are you going to keep off to put him on there, right? But here's Josh Sweat talking about being snubbed from the Pro Bowl.
Y'all let me know if I'm crazy. I don't know. I mean, I had my best season, from the start of the voting to the end of the voting. I was top 5 in sacks, second in the NFC. You know what I mean? Number 1 in forced fumbles. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what else I could have done at that point. You know what I mean? I don't know what else I could have done. Now, previous years, maybe you could have said he didn't have the popularity. Maybe he didn't get the fan vote. This year, I was second in fan voting for NFC. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what else did they want me to do? Like, the popularity was there. You could say losing team, it didn't matter. I had the popularity, you know what I'm saying? So what else could I have done? Check this, I'm the only double-digit NFC guy that didn't make it. How do you select the one with the most forced fumbles and then say, this is the guy we're gonna leave out? I don't care about losing team. I don't care, it's an individual thing. That's why I'm so upset. I'm upset because the fans that actually went out there and voted for me, it meant nothing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm upset because there's only 2 individual things that you can get, and it's Pro Bowl and All Pro. You know what I'm saying? And I got one taken away from me. I'm just flat out saying it was taken away from me. And it ain't the first time. So, I mean, that's really that's really all I can say about it. Just don't know. It's the fan said he should be the guy. We want him in. My play showed that I should be in. But somewhere, some popularity within the league said that he shouldn't be in. I just want to know if I'm crazy. The only double-digit NFC guy to not make it. All they do is wave a player card in your face, like, go vote. Look at the sacks and forced fumbles. But you want to holler team or your team losing or whatever. I ain't really trying to hear none of that. I just want what I earned and what I worked for.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. Now, Aiden Hutchinson's the only guy that's better than him in terms of numbers, or at least equal to him, and he, of course, made it, right? You heard him say it. I'm the only double-digit guy. Forced fumbles, he's in there. Fan voting, second in fan voting, folks. Not in there. Josh Sweat got snubbed. Now, the guys that got in, and then the defensive line, you can argue they deserve it as well. Make no mistake about it. Cardinals losing kept Josh Sweat out of the Pro Bowl. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. And Josh Sweat, you heard him say there as well. This has happened before. He got robbed in the MVP of the Super Bowl last year. Should have gotten that. He's out on that. Josh Sweat getting robbed a little bit here. If the Cardinals were winning or he was on a winning team, he'd be in the Pro Bowl. He's getting snubbed on that. And I'll tell you this, I know it's different positions and how you vote and stuff to that effect. But I'll tell you this, Josh Sweat deserves to be in long before Budda Baker does. But you know as well as I do, once you get past the proverbial in the Pro Bowl constantly and your name's there, you're always in the Pro Bowl, right? Just name recognition alone. Boom, you're in. Boom, you're in. Boom, you're in. Even if you don't deserve it. Budda Baker's not a Pro Bowl player this year, folks. He's not. Missing tackles, all of that stuff. Josh Sweat deserves to be there. He's got robbed. I get it. You can say, whatever you want to say. He's out in there because he's an Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals have struggled this year. Period. End of story for Josh Sweat. This is why I hate Pro Bowl voting. This is why I hate everything about it. Because the fan vote didn't even matter. Second in fan voting and he doesn't even get in? When his numbers are there? I can understand if you're second in fan voting and your numbers aren't there. I can understand that. But his numbers are there. Cardinals. Welcome to the Cardinals, Josh Sweat. Congratulations, kid. Cardinals play the Bengals this weekend. Speaking of Josh Sweat, not practicing this week, has that ankle issue. It'll be interesting to see if he's a go. Did not practice yesterday on Christmas Day. Be interesting to see if he's a go this weekend or not, or if they keep him out because of the cold weather. It's not going to be terrible weather, but Cincinnati is colder than here, etc. Budda Baker, concussion protocol as well. If Budda does not practice today, he's probably not playing this weekend either, coming up for him. So those are the big things. All the other injuries are the same. See who comes in there, et cetera, where we go on that side. Interesting enough here this weekend is there's some playoff implications coming away. However, most of the playoffs are settled as of this point right now. And let me check on something here really quick. Oh, there we go. The playoffs are basically set. We just got to worry about seeding at this point. For instance, in the AFC, can we throw this up? I think we have an AFC playoff picture graphic here. If we do, can we throw that up? Broncos obviously are in. They're the 1 seed right now at 12-3. They're vying with the Patriots at 12-3 also. They're just trying to get that 1 seed. You can see playoff odds on the end as well here. This is all from NFL.com, folks. Broncos 52% chance to get that number 1 seed. Patriots 31% chance. Jaguars obviously winning that division. The 3 seed. Steelers winning that horrific division over there. Now, it's not, the Steelers aren't settled. Ravens will be eliminated this weekend if they lose. If the Ravens lose at all, they're eliminated. So right now, the Steelers have that 4th spot being 9-6. For the playoffs here coming up. 0% chance for the number 1 seed. Obviously, they can win is 11 games with 2 to go. Steelers are there. Steelers win this weekend. Ravens are eliminated. Steelers get into the playoffs as the 4 seed. Steelers lose. Ravens win. They mathematically stay alive, but it's a long shot for the Ravens. Ravens have to win out. Steelers have to lose out to even have a chance to get that division win. So that's where we stand in the division winners. Then you got the Chargers, Bills, and Titans. They are locked in the playoffs at this point as well. 4 teams over last weekend, the Bills, Chargers, Jaguars, Patriots, all got playoff bids guaranteed there after week 16 as well. So 2 spots technically remain, as I said, the Steelers, Ravens spot. The winner of that division is technically still alive, even though the Steelers look like they are going to win that as of now, and they'll be that 4 seed. Then you got the Texans. Texans need one more win. They can even tie a little bit. They're at the Chargers this weekend. Then the Colts at home. The Texans are after that. So they need at least one more win against those two teams, or the Colts just to lose again. Colts play the Jaguars this weekend at home in Indianapolis, and then they go to Houston. So the Texans just have to beat their division rival there to get into the playoffs against the Colts. Texans are going to win that at last spot there, and that's the AFC pictures as well, right, going into it. Then we got the NFC side of things. So basically the AFC set except for seedings. Right, moving forward at that point, for the most part, there's going to have to be a miracle to happen for that to not happen. Now the seedings can change a little bit, not a ton in the AFC, but the seedings might be able to change. NFC, on the other hand, a little bit more fierce here. If we throw up the NFC playoff picture here, graphic that we got again, NFL.com gives us this stuff. Oh, he doesn't have the NFC. I must not have put it in there. That's all right. I'll tell you. Seahawks obviously leading that division are 12-3 right now. They're the 1 seed. The number 1 seed in the NFC, vying for that first round bye coming up. Bears are in the second spot there at 11-4. Eagles are 10-5 in that third spot. Panthers, winner of that division, is 8-7 right now. Well, they're in that 4th spot, obviously. Winner of that division will fill that 4th spot. Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, of course, in the playoffs. Seahawks can be dethroned as the coming out of the NFC West. The Bears can be dethroned coming out of the NFC Central if the Packers can win out and the Bears lose out. I believe that's how it can kind of goes. Eagles winning that division, so they'll be that 3rd seed as well for them. So those are the division winners. Then you got the Niners, Rams, and Packers. Packers got into the playoffs yesterday with the Lions losing that game. Packers are into the playoffs. So, again, we are set here. The only thing that could change in the NFC in terms of deals, Buccaneers are 7-8, Panthers are 8-7. That's the only one left decided here. Panthers can get knocked out. Buccaneers can go in. Obviously, if the Buccaneers win out, Panthers lose at that point. Where are we at? There it is. There's our graphic there. Lions have officially been eliminated last night. This hasn't been updated from, of course, Christmas games. Buccaneers, as I said, have to win out. Period. End of story. Nothing you can say about it. Coming up here. That's the only thing that can really change in terms of who's in the playoffs and who's out. Everybody else has been eliminated on the NFC side of things as well. So even if the Bears were to win one of their final 2 games, they're guaranteed the NFC North title and at least the 2 seed. They have to win one of them, right, going into it. If the Packers lose to the Ravens on Saturday night, Eagles fall to Buffalo on Sunday afternoon, the Bears will clinch before that 49ers game as well for that division. So they can win from that side as well going into it as we want. So interesting enough here, Seattle Seahawks. They have a lot of implications to conference races out there, right? So the 1 seed clinching scenarios out there. So if Seattle loses at Carolina this weekend, obviously Carolina needs to win to stay pace above the Buccaneers to get into the playoffs. Seattle needs to win to keep that 1 seed in that. So if Seattle loses to Carolina this weekend, 49ers can win the 1 seed by winning out. They got the Bears and Seahawks afterwards. Obviously, the 49ers-Seahawks game to end the season is going to be huge. At least it's looking to be huge now. The Bears can win the 1 seed still. They're guaranteed the 2 seed if they win one of these next 2. They got the Niners this weekend at San Francisco, then the Lions after that. The Bears can win the 1 seed by winning out as well if Seattle loses this weekend. The Rams can win the 1 seed still. They can win out. Falcons and then the Cardinals. Easier schedule here for the Rams to win out. But their problem is they have to have the 49ers and Bears both going 1-1 or worse, or 0-2 going into this here. So Rams have a little bit more difficulty with the easier schedule to get that 1 seed. So we do have some serious changes here. The only ones that can be knocked out now, though, are the Panthers, and the Buccaneers can go in. Everybody else is out of the playoff side as well. So that means Ravens-Packers this weekend. Huge playoff implications for that series. Ravens can be knocked out. Even if if this is a Saturday game, so they're going to play this game. Packers are in. Ravens can get knocked out in that game. Seattle and Carolina. I just gave you that scenario. Seattle loses this. They put 3 teams in play for the 1 seed if Seattle loses this game. Panthers lose this game. Buccaneers win this weekend. Well, you still got a battle here going into the last weekend for the winner of that division. Winner of that division gets into the playoffs. The loser, the second-place team, gets knocked out. This is a huge game here, Seattle and Panthers this weekend. Same thing, Buccaneers, Dolphins. Buccaneers need a win to keep pace with the Panthers. Even if Panthers win, Buccaneers still have a shot to get to the playoffs there by winning that division. Any loss by Tampa Bay, any win by the Panthers means Buccaneers are out of the playoffs at that point as well. Here's the interesting thing about it. Buccaneers win this weekend. Panthers win this weekend. Panthers Bucks play next weekend. So Tampa Bay beats the Dolphins. Next week will be a guarantee. No matter what happens to Carolina, they can lose to the Seahawks. They can beat the Seahawks because of tiebreakers. Buccaneers beat the Dolphins this weekend. Buccaneers, Carolina next weekend for the playoffs. Winner gets in. Loser goes home in that game. Watch that closely. Texans, Chargers this weekend as well. Obviously, Chargers need a win to keep pace with the with the Broncos. 2 games back right now, so they need some help there. Houston, I think they've officially after yesterday's games they've officially clinched a playoff berth. If they haven't officially done it, they're as close to getting it as humanly possible before they get that as well. They win, obviously, they're in no matter what. And then the interesting thing, they can still win that division as well. If the Colts beat the Jaguars this weekend and Texans win against the Chargers, Texans will be in the lead in that division. So you have these division matchups here. You can lose these seedings pretty quickly coming up. Obviously, Bears, Niners, we talked about this one a lot as well. Bears are still in the number 1 seed option if that's how that Seattle game goes. Niners trying to keep pace in this division as well. Niners need a win. If Seattle loses, they play each other next week. And that's going to be a battle there for not just the division win, but seeding as well coming to that side of things as well. So you want to talk odds here in these divisions going into this weekend, 2 weeks to go. Patriots have an 80% odd to win that division over the Bills as of right now. Only 1 game sets them apart. The Patriots have the Jets in Miami coming up. The Bills have Philadelphia and Jets coming up. Now, Philadelphia has clinched a playoff spot, but Patriots have an 80% odds, according to the mathematicians, to win that division. Steelers, 91% chance to win over the Ravens. I think that's going to happen this weekend. Ravens are at Green Bay. Yes, Green Bay has a playoff spot now, but Pittsburgh and Baltimore do play next weekend. If the Steelers can lose this weekend and Baltimore wins, but Steelers have a 91% chance to win that division. They're probably going to do it. Jaguars, Texans, as I said, they're battling each other coming up next week. Jaguars do have, according to the mathematicians, 85% chance to win the division. At Indianapolis this weekend, Tennessee next weekend is who they play. Texans are at the Chargers. Then they play the Colts next weekend at home. They're in Houston as well. For the Jaguars, by the mathematicians, 85% chance to win that division. Broncos, Chargers. Broncos, 73% chance to win. That's gone up since yesterday's game. Obviously, not including yesterday's game there as well. Coming up. So, because they obviously beat Kansas City last night, shot up enormously. Broncos have a 2-game lead. They need to lose out. Chargers need to win out. Probably not happening because of that win last night. Obviously, because there's 1 game left for the Broncos. Broncos are winning that division. Bears, Packers, as I said, 85% chance for the Bears to win that division over the Packers as well. Then the Panthers, Buccaneers. This one's about as even as can be. Buccaneers actually have a 58% chance to win the division. They're at Miami this weekend, and then they play Carolina. As I said, Panthers, all the Buccaneers have to do is beat Miami this weekend, and they're a game behind the Panthers. Panthers win or lose. Panthers can be a game up. Panthers can lose this weekend and be tied with the Buccaneers if the Buccaneers beat the Dolphins. Next week's game is no matter what if the Buccaneers beat the Dolphins for the division. Fantastic. I want to see that happen. Go Buccaneers against Miami this weekend as well. Then the NFC West. 3-team vying right now. 52% chance for the Seahawks to win it, according to the mathematicians. At Carolina, at San Francisco. 49ers, 28% chance. Of course, Chicago, then Seattle. The Rams have a 20% chance at Atlanta and Arizona. But like I said, Rams need some help to win the division, even if they win out. So a little bit harder there for the Rams coming up as well. If you want to talk strength of schedules, I'm giving you it all here on this breakdown on this Friday, folks. The 49ers, 767 chance, strength of schedule that they're playing. Bears and Seahawks. That's obviously a hard schedule for the Niners. The Jets, Patriots and Bills, 767 for them. Those are the hardest schedules remaining. Obviously, Jets eliminated, but they have the Patriots and Bills. The Jets can affect the winner of that division. Now they're playing the two hard teams and the two leading teams in that division. The Jets can now look at that as well. Chargers, 733 chance. They're hard strength of schedule for them. The Colts, who are still alive in the playoffs technically, they're going to get eliminated this weekend. But they're alive, 700 strength of schedule here coming up. Panthers, we told you, need a win definitely next week. This week's almost a wash for the Panthers. If they win this week, though, and the Buccaneers lose, boom, doesn't matter. Buccaneers have to win. But the Texans going into this, the Panthers going into this game, I apologize. The Panthers going into the game this weekend, 633 hardest schedule left on that side. Texans, 633 as well, can win that division technically going into this. Ooh, it's going to be fun this weekend, folks. Easiest schedules. Want to go down to the bottom? No shocker. Bengals, 31st, easiest. 200 winning percentage here for them. Cardinals and then the Browns. So go Bengals. Good for them. By the way, Cardinals are tied for 15th place. 0.533 is their their schedule strength. They're Bengals and then at Rams after that from that perspective. We got you set up for the playoffs. The perspectives here, man, I'm rooting for the Buccaneers like crazy this weekend. I want to see a all playoffs on the line battle here coming up. Root for the Texans as well this weekend. I want to see Texans and Jaguars, battling it out for that division next weekend as well. I think it's going to be fantastic to watch if that does indeed happen this weekend. So, of course, one of the games we picked here was Lions at Vikings yesterday. Me and Dale both had Lions. Womp, womp. I was so confident on that, I told everybody, including Lou, Lions are dominating that game. I think Lou agreed with me, too. So, sorry about that, Lou. My fault. My fault, buddy. Yeah, Texans-Chargers is going to be a big game this weekend. We told you the implications on the line. Chargers need a win to kind of keep pace in that division against Broncos, even though the Broncos are winning it. But they're going for playoff seeding, right? Texans need a win. 10-5. They're going to make the playoffs, even though they're not technically covered. But they're going to make the playoffs. They're 10 wins now. They need a couple wins here, at least one win here. And if the more they win, the more they can possibly win that division. So Texans, Chargers, a big deal. It is one of the games we're picking. Dale has the Chargers at home winning this, and I actually agree with him on this. So I'm going Chargers as well against the Texans, but only because it's in L.A. And I have a long-standing ticket on the Jaguars winning that division this weekend. Ravens-Packers this weekend, another game. These are Saturday games, by the way. 2:30 p.m. kickoff here for the Texans-Chargers. 6 p.m. here for the Ravens-Packers on Saturday. Again, Ravens lose, boom, out of the playoffs. See you later, boys. Packers, Steelers will win that division. Packers clinch the playoff berth. Are they going to kind of relax a little bit? Are they going to fight hard? 9-5-1 is their schedule. They're still in that division race. They are with the Bears. Packers still need a win here to try to catch the Bears to win that division. I do have Dale pick the Packers at home, and I don't have any faith in the Ravens in this situation. Zero faith in the Ravens. Offensively, defensively, their play calling. giving the ball to one of the best running backs in the league. They don't do it in Derrick Henry. I'm going to go Packers at home in this game and match Dale there on Saturday as well. Then Sunday, you got Seahawks-Panthers. That's an 11 a.m. kickoff for them. Panthers need a win. Well, they don't need a win this weekend. They need to just beat the Bucs next weekend, depending on the situation. But obviously, winning this weekend will help them out to go. Because the Panthers win, Buccaneers lost, means the Panthers win the division. Seahawks need a win. Number 1 seed's on the line. If they lose this game, you're going to open up Bears, Niners, Rams to come up and win the number 1 seed. We just went over all that. Seahawks Panthers this weekend in Carolina. Dale's going Panthers this weekend. I'm going Seahawks this weekend. I had to look. I couldn't figure out my notes there. I'm like, what are my notes? I got the Seahawks winning this game this weekend. Seahawks are going to be the number 1 seed. They need this win this weekend because, of course, they play the 49ers afterward. Just to win the division, this game is huge to them. And like I said, I want to see a Buccaneers-Panthers battle for the playoffs next weekend in that division. Cardinals-Bengals, that shouldn't be a shocker to anybody out there. Neither me or Dale has any faith that the Cardinals can do anything. The statue is going to just be bundled up when he stands there. Maybe he'll move around this week, Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan, the statue Gannon. Maybe he'll move around this week to stay warm. Hetzing's going to call his offense the way he does. And Bengals are going to score a lot of points on this Cardinals defense. Now, the Bengals defense is terrible. Can the Cardinals do what they do? They move the ball up and down the field. Can they actually score touchdowns this weekend with the play calling and the way they run stuff? Who's even playing? Josh Sweat going to play? Budda Baker going to play? We find all that later on today. We both have the Bengals winning this game this weekend as well for this game. Like I said, Jaguar Colts, big implication here. Jaguars have not wrapped up this division. Texans, you will know because the Texans play on Saturday. If the Texans beat the Chargers, they're still in play to win that division. Puts more pressure on the Jaguars to win this game in Indianapolis this weekend to get that extra lead there. 11 wins for the Jags, 10 wins for the Texans. Jaguars will know where they stand going into this game here on Sunday, here in this game. We did not do it as a pick. I do think, though, the Jaguars get the win against the Colts this weekend. Colts officially will be eliminated. Jaguars get the win, and come on, Jags, win that division for me. Make me look smart on that play I did earlier this year. Buccaneers, Dolphins. I do think the Buccaneers win this game, and I want to see them win it. Buccaneers win no matter what Carolina does. Buccaneers, Panthers for the division win in the playoffs next week. I'm just rooting for it. I just am. Buccaneers, figure out this funk you're in where you can't win a game and go beat the Dolphins, who are playing better lately, by the way, folks. Kind of stubbed their toes again the last couple years. Let's go do this. Let's get this so we have a winner wins the division next week game. If you don't beat the Dolphins, Buccaneers, I kind of feel the same way I did about the Lions. You deserve to lose, and see you later at that point, right? Hey, then you got Patriots, Jets. Patriots still trying for that number 1 seed. They're still alive for it. 12-3 for them. Playing the Jets this weekend. Patriots should win this game and get to 13. Who would have said that? 13 wins with Drake May as quarterback. Saints, Titans. Nobody cares. The Nobody Cares Bowl there. Saints, Titans. Giants, Raiders. Who nobody cares. Both of these teams have 2 wins. Does anybody want to win this game? It's going to affect their draft standing. Are they both going to be trying to lose this game? I saw Brock Bowers has been put on the sideline for the rest of the year. The great tight end there, young tight end for the Raiders. 2-13, both teams battling it out. The Who Cares Bowl, but does affect draft position here this weekend for the winner. Eagles-Bills is the next game here. Eagles are won the division. They're going to the playoffs. Bills need a win to keep pace, of course, with their division, specifically the Patriots. Patriots do play earlier in the day, so will they be watching this at 11 a.m. to see what the Patriots do? But Eagles-Bears. Eagles-Bills. Dale has the Bills winning this, and I think the Bills will win it also. I think the Bills know they have to keep pace. They have to win this game. They're at home. Eagles come up there. Eagles have clinched the playoff berth. I'm not going to say they're going to take it easy. I'm just saying they're going to try to figure out their problems here while Buffalo needs the win to keep pace. They're both going to the playoffs. They're just keeping pace with the Patriots here in that division with the Eagles that have already won it. Then you got Bears 49ers. Dale has the 49ers winning at home in this game. I agree with him on this one just because now Bears need a win. They do. 11-4. But going across the country, Sunday Night Football against the Niners, who are still the Niners need to win more than anybody to stay alive in that division. With 11 wins, folks. With 11 wins. Niners play Seahawks next week. I think the Niners are in playoff mode. I think the Bears are also. Now, to me, this game is simple. If the Niners turn the ball over a lot, Bears are going to win it. If the Niners can keep the ball and no turnovers, they'll beat the Bears in this game. That's as simple as the breakdown of the game is. Turnovers is going to matter in this game. I got the Niners winning a close one here, a squeaker on Sunday Night Football to stay alive in this division race with next week when they play Seattle. If Seattle loses, they can get the number 1 seed if they win this game. And then they play the Seattle next week. It's going to be a fun game to watch, man. Bears and 49ers in this game. Both me and Dale have the Niners this weekend. Monday Night Football, anticlimactic Rams-Falcons in this Monday Night Football game. Rams are going to win this. It's not an official show pick. I'll just tell you, Rams should win this game. Should win this game easily. Rams are going to be motivated. Rams only have 11 wins by only. They're in third place in the division. Rams need a win. They can technically still get to that number 1 seed, depending what Seattle does if Seattle loses, but they'll also what the Niners do. But the Rams need to keep battling this out. This is going to be an amazing playoff run here, as I told you guys. I told you this layout here. Right now, let's just say for giggles, Seattle wins the division as the number 1 seed. Let's just say that happens. The 49ers are the 5 seed. The Rams are the 6 seed. Are going into this. Then the Packers will be the 7th seed. Do you want to be the Bears or Eagles or Panthers and play the Rams or 49ers? Do you? Doesn't that sound like fun? You made the playoffs. Congratulations. Here's your opponent. Teams that all won 12 games, 13 games this year. Well, one of them's not going to make 13 because they play each other at the end. Here's your reward. You're going to play a 12-win team in the first round. Congratulations for making the playoffs. That'll be amazing to watch there as well. So I'm looking forward to that. So, hey, folks, whether you're catching us here live at Robat TV, on demand at Robat TV, on the YouTube page, or even the free podcasting system, give us a shout-out, right? Give us your thoughts and kind of where you stand and where the playoffs are going to fall. 623-252-6670. Is the text line. Then, of course, at TME Sports Show on X as well. We'll wrap it in. I made it to 2 hours. I didn't know if I would. I talk too much. Thought I'd be here like an hour and a half or so. Woo-wee. But look, lots of football to set up this weekend. Breakdown of the playoff situation. Breakdown of all of that stuff here today as well. Bowl games galore coming up. I'll get the graphics up on the show picks for you later on today. But we'll get these shows all in the systems for you. Thanks for watching and everything. Don't forget, Monday and Tuesday we'll have a regular show. Today was a casual show. Monday, Tuesday, me and Dale will be here. Tuesday, Uncle Lou at 8 o'clock. Bruce Cooper at 9 o'clock as well this week for Tuesday. And then after Monday, Tuesday, we're off the rest of the week. We'll be back here starting live with all of our programming here on the 5th as well. So mark your calendars. And folks, have a great weekend. Recover from Christmas. Get ready for New Year's. We'll see you on Monday, everybody. NFL and college football. Let's have some fun, folks. See you, everybody.